Hey, I'm Cassia. I'm 26 years old. I'm a youth worker with Youth for Christ and Youth Unlimited. I just got hired with Comox, so I'll be coming in September to work with the youth in the Comox Valley. And I am on the road to recovery, or recovering from feeling unloved as a young child in my days. I grew up in a non-Christian home, I guess is the best way to determine it. But my mom is Italian, she's Catholic, because the two go hand in hand. And so going to church was always a thing that we did, but it was never an impactful part of my life. But growing up, I was a middle child. I have an older sister and a younger brother, and I am a classic case of middle child syndrome. I am so different from my family. I am the odd one out, the lost sheep, however you want to describe it. But growing up, that was always very obvious. My parents would always tell their friends that I was different, I didn't quite fit in, and those things just kind of stuck with me and reminded me that I'm probably not as loved because I don't fit the mold of perfect daughter. And that kind of grew as I grew, continuously felt unloved by my family. And yeah, just always excluded, didn't get along well with my siblings. My mom and I had huge issues, and it just got to the point where I had convinced myself that my family didn't love me. And so that just grew as I grew, and through high school, I was trying to find ways to fit in, ways to feel loved. And that's when I started drinking and smoking weed, because it was what the cool kids were doing and what the popular kids were doing. And I wanted a boyfriend so bad because that was a guaranteed love thing for me. And once I got one, I was so happy and I thought everything was solved. But he ended up cheating on me and breaking up with me, and that just fueled the idea that I was not loved. And that was a truth that I lived with for a very long time. And so that pushed me into my university days, and I just drank more, smoked more weed, found a very false love in relationships. And at this point, I had gone to Young Life. I'd started believing more in who Jesus was, but I thought I could be a Christian and also do all these things at the same time. And it wasn't until my second year of university that I was going to a Bible study, and on my way home, I felt this heavy weight and just very stressed and overwhelmed. And as soon as I got home, I went into my room and just immediately broke down crying, and tears were flowing hard. And I just remember clearly hearing God say, "You can't keep living this life. You can't keep doing this. You have to choose me or them." And in that moment, I decided to choose God, choose Jesus, because it wasn't something I had done. And my life just completely turned around. I got baptized pretty much right after that when I was 20, and haven't looked back since. And God's really solidified my value and my worth in Him and who He is, and my identity just lies completely and solely in God. And I've learned in the past that people are always going to hurt you, and there's always going to be people in your life who make you feel unloved, but God's chosen to love us despite everything, despite all the hurt that we have, all the mess ups that we do. He made the decision to love us so long ago. And that decision is now ours to decide what we're going to do with that, and we get to choose Him back, which is something that I'm so grateful for and so thankful for, because the minute I decided to choose God, my life started getting fuller, and I started feeling love more so than I've ever felt in my entire life. And my family is still hard, and that's still something that I deal with, but God's given me more family through him. And yeah, his unfailing love is so strong, and it's something that can never be lost.